Let's go, baby.
Off the turn, they're 3 wide.
Battle for the lead as Hickok gets out of shape.
Bottom shot, 3 wide.
He takes the lead back. Dynamite Racing. Welcome everyone to Stafford Speedway. After 3 weeks off, partly thanks to Mother Nature, we're back at it tonight on Maybury Material Handling Back to SKool Kids Night. We'll start tonight's pit preview in the SK Modified pits, where Kyle's standing by with a driver who's come off a couple podiums in the last month.
Bonza Anthony Flannery has finished third in 2 of the last 3 races here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, including the last time we raced 3 weeks ago. Seems like forever ago, but what more do you need to put this car in Napa victory lane here for the first time this season?
We've had a good car both times running up front. I don't know if it's track position or I just need other guys to have a worse night. These Chaspro guys give me a great car, and the experience is definitely helping. And I think we just need to have our night, just like everybody else.
Talked a moment ago that it's been 3 weeks since we last raced, and I feel like that's been the story of most of this 2023 season. How hard has it been to get into a flow?
It's a little tricky. I mean, we have an advantage of running, multiple tracks, so you kind of keep going that way. But the rainouts definitely slow your momentum down. It's nice to come back and, have that good finish the last time we ran out and got that going for us. But yeah, I mean, it usually takes a few laps into practice just to get back in the groove. And come race time, I think most drivers would agree it's instinct. It's like riding a bike. Once you get out there with the other cars, you're doing your job.
Into the final stretch of the season now, how would you kind of sum things up as we head into the last 3 features?
I think we've had a great season. We had some struggles in the beginning, some engine problems, but those things happen. We got into a couple of early wrecks and a couple of nights that could have been. But I couldn't be happier with my first full season here. We missed a race early on for a personal event, and to sneak into the top 10 last week in points is amazing, especially at a track like this with the competition that's here. So I'm really happy for our first season, and I'm excited for the last few races.
Best of luck to you here later tonight.
Thank you very much.
Anthony Flannery looking for his first win of the 2023 season. Let's go to the other side of the pits and see who Bonza's been able to catch up with.
Kyle, one of the quietest drivers, maybe not just in the SKs, but just at Stafford Speedway period, is Michael Jarvis Jr., who sits 5th in points. There was a stretch there where you were finishing 7th, top 10, 7th, got top 10 your most recent race. How are you able to stay that consistent with all the craziness that happens around you?
Just got to be lucky most of the time, but I try to keep my nose clean. I don't try to race anybody in a bad way, so it all comes back to me that way, I feel. But yeah, we got lucky. Thought something was broken. 7th, 3 weeks in a row. But no, it was good. We had a few bad races before that, but it was good to at least string a couple of good ones together and quietly sneak up there.
How much is it in the driver's control during those first 5, 10, 15 laps when everyone's packed up 2 by 2?
I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty patient person in that aspect. Like sometimes, like you want to go, or people behind you are impatient, and you just got to wait till it kind of spreads out a little bit. I think you start making your moves. But I've been in that situation where I wasn't patient, and we got caught up in something. So that's always try to do it that way.
You won the 2nd race of the year. What more do you need out of the car to return to victory lane at the end of the season?
Hopefully in these next couple of races, we tried something different from the last couple of weeks, and we only had 1 practice on it last time we were here, but hopefully it pans out.
Have fun tonight.
Thank you very much.
As Michael Jarvis Jr. looking for yet another top 10 finish, maybe a 2nd trip to victory lane this season. Now we're going to go to the late model pits where Kyle is with our point leader.
Bonza able to catch up with late model championship point leader Kevin Gambacorda coming into tonight. And first off, Kevin, 3 top 5s in the last 3 races, although it's been 3 weeks since we last raced. Does the momentum carry over? Do you believe in momentum at this point of the year?
I mean, I guess so. I think it's kind of what we've been doing all year, so we just got to do it for a couple more weeks. I mean, we've been top 5, pretty much every week if we haven't had a problem, so we just got to keep doing that for 2 more weeks.
Are Are you one to sit in the car in the middle of the race and calculate?
Sometimes. I think last week I might have done that, when I was running third. I guess usually I don't, but last week I was thinking about it, and I was happy with where I was at. And I don't know, I'm just here to race and try to win.
I know the drivers that are in the run for the championship hate to talk about points, but one of the big stories at the beginning of the year that we talked to you about during the offseason is you really wanted to be the first driver to win all 3 of the Fender titles here at the racetrack. Street stocks, limited late models. How special would that be if you can get it done here in the next couple weeks?
I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it. I think sometimes I think about it, and it just, I kind of think about how we got started and how terrible and how we had no clue what the heck we were doing when we first started, and how things have gone over the years. I just think it's really cool that we've won championships at the same racetrack as somebody like Teddy Christopher has won. To me, that's really neat, and if we can do it again, that would even be awesome.
Absolutely. Speaking of cool, it's going to get cool here tonight, down into the 60s, maybe a little cooler than that. How will that change the racetrack?
I always like running at night, or I always seem to run better in the cooler temperatures. So for me, I'm looking forward to it.
Hoodie weather here tonight at the Stafford Speedway. Best of luck to you out there later on this evening.
Thank you, appreciate it.
As a 48-point cushion in the late model championship standings, that is Kevin Gambacorda. Let's go over to the SK Light Modified pits and talk to one of the more veteran drivers here at the racetrack with Bonza.
Well, Kyle, it's Maybury Material Handling Back to School Kids Night, and one of the Maybury Material Handling cars is driven by Wade Gagner, who's making a return to Stafford for the first time in, 30 years? Multi-time winner at Stafford, racing in late models, the old street stocks. Now you're here in an SK Light. What brought you back to racing on Friday nights, though?
It was like a comedy of errors. I was running a vintage series, and it just wasn't enough racing, and Alina decided to do a part-time schedule, and me being a nut that I am, I just had to be here every week. So John Maybury, it's all his fault. He says, go out, find yourself an old car, and he says, I'll buy you the car, and you if you want to maintain it and race it and put my name on it, you can race. So originally we planned on 8 races, and that quickly went bye-bye because I was having too much fun. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I never would imagine how much fun these things are to drive. I guess I kind of knew from the vintage mods, but with less horsepower, and you really got to drive these things through the corner, they're just a blast to drive. And it's kind of cool because most of my racers from Monday nights I'm racing with in the series, and I'm sure they're enjoying kicking my ass. So it's kind of fun. I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with the different drivers in this class. I'm just overall having a great time. It's just, I'm building a new car for next year. We picked up a newer car because this is a 96, so this is really old. So I bought something a little bit newer for next year, and it's gonna go on. It's not gonna stop.
The bug is back, to say the least. So goals for tonight and the rest of the season? Well, you got a couple more events left at least.
Well, this is going to be my last one. I'm actually going to go down to North Wilkesboro next weekend, so I'm going to mix next Friday. And we decided I have so many go-karts to build for Monday nights that I got to start doing that, so I can't run the October race. John's still going to compete in the vintage race that weekend. I'll help him out. But I need to get going on go-karts and concentrate on my...
It's Wade Gagner behind the Monday Night Wild Thing carts and behind the wheel of the 70 SK Light, looking for a good night on Maybury Material Handling Kids Night. Now we're going to keep the Maybury theme going and go to Kyle with another driver in the SK Lights.
Bonza here in the SK Light Modified pit, able to catch up with Alina Bryden, who we haven't seen much of this season. One other time. Welcome back to Stafford Motor Speedway here on Maybury Material Handling Night.
Thank you, I appreciate it. We're glad to be back and back racing, so it should be a good night.
We've seen you one other time this year. How tough is it to come out mid-season when everybody else has been doing it for 3, 4, 5 months, and it's your first event here a couple of weeks ago at the end of August?
It is tough. We haven't ran much this year, but I got a great person that's setting up my car, Cam McDermott. McDermott Motorsports Services are setting up my car this year, and we have a lot of new technology in it. So when he sets up this car, it comes out flying and ready to go every time I come out. So I have all my faith and confidence in him that he gave me the car to race up front today. So we'll see how it goes.
No doubt, he's one of the best when it comes to setting these cars up. Goals for tonight? What are the hopes here when this night is all said and done for you?
Honestly, we're just going to have fun tonight and see what happens, you know, try to run up front, try to have a good race. We haven't raced that much this season, so we're not in it for points, so we're just going to go out, have fun tonight, and do the best we can.
Down to the final couple of races here this season. How often will we see you here in the last month, now 6 weeks?
Yeah, you might see me one other time, maybe twice. We'll see. We were going to race tomorrow, but that kind of threw us for a loop, so we'll see what happens, maybe one other time.
Have fun out there tonight.
All right, thank you.
Lena Bryden back with us for the second time here this season in the SK Light Modified. Look for that number 48 car on the racetrack here later on this evening. Now let's go to the street stock pits and hear from Bonza with the driver looking for his first win of the season.
Kyle, the last time the street stocks raced, one of the biggest movers in that race was Johnny Walker. He started 27th and finished 3rd. What is that like as a driver to go from all the way at the back to a podium run in just 20 laps? A lot happened during that 20 laps.
Yeah, we seem to always do our best work when there's a lot of pressure, and having to start in the back of the pack just kind of put us behind the 8 ball, and I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's this extra motivation. So, we tried to come all the way from the back and win the race. That would have been pretty cool, but that's the story.
So what do you take away from that run to help build for tonight's run? How do you feel about the car? What more do you need to get back to victory lane, especially on this night, Maybury Kids Night?
Yeah, Maybury Night, him being my employer is kind of important to us. Hopefully this week we get a better starting spot, and we haven't really touched the car. We got it dialed in, so hopefully with a better starting spot we can get to the front and win this thing.
How do you think it's going to be tonight with the weather? It's a little cooler than it has been for the past several weeks.
Yeah, I love it when it's cool. I think the track, grips up a lot, and we seem to do our best, in the fall.
Well, have fun, Mr. Wicker.
But I got a little surprise for you.
Really?
You like pineapples, right?
I like pineapples, but not on pizza. This is okay. If it was on pizza, it'd be a different story. Is this for me to keep?
I'm going to wear this one tonight.
Oh, my God. Oh, it just wraps around like that? All right, I guess I got my good luck charm for today. If you end up winning today, it's because of this. Just remember that. Good luck tonight.
Go Pineapples.
That's Johnny Walker for you, trying to get to victory lane for the first time this year, trying to pursue the street stock win record. It's time to go racing. It's Maybury Material Handling Back to School Kids Night with Ben Dodge on the call.
Well, the big story tonight is literally our paddock area is bulging at the seams with one of the biggest fields assembled in all the divisions well represented. Remember, the last time we were here at Stafford, Mother Nature zapped us just as we were about to commence with the limited late model feature. So for tonight's race program, they are already pre-qualified, because they already ran their qualifying heats, and they will be among the first of the feature events in this evening's program. We also want to welcome tonight the good folks from Casella Waste that are joining us. They're having a VIP celebration, and of course, it is Maybury Material Handling Night here at the Speedway. Now, remember, for nearly 50 years, Maybury Material Handling has been designing, supplying, and servicing a wide variety of material equipment throughout New England. Maybury provides its customers with a wide range of industries and with solutions that move, lift, store, and much, much more. For more information, go to Maybury.com or check them out by calling 1-800-MAYBURY. There is a big buzz in the pit area and from the Motor Racing Network. The key voice there, as he is a key voice here at Stafford, Mr. Kyle Rickey, is alongside. And Kyle, there's no question about it. It isn't a story of who is going to get to the front first to win the title and the championship. It's a story of trying to finish on a high note before we go into that major twist that has become the October 28th event.
Yeah, it's been a busy day here at the Speedway with the announcement this morning that what was to be Napa Fall Final Weekend featuring the Monaco Modified Tri-Track Series tomorrow has been moved because of Mother Nature. It's been a story all year long from opening day all the way until now. So the season will be extended. It'll be the championship event for the Monaco Modifieds and the SK Modifieds. Their final point event coming up on October 28th. But you want to set up nicely for for that event, and, of course, championship night next Friday night for the other 4 divisions, as we're going to crown some champions here over the next few events here at the Speedway, beginning next week, and maybe even some clinch scenarios tonight. We'll see.
We sure will. And, of course, in addition to all of that, we want to remind you that we are a couple of minutes away from the start of this evening's Maybury Material Handling Kids Night. Want to remind you, if you haven't already done so, the food stands are open. Plenty of food prepared just the way you like it. You can smell those sizzling sausages and that great food directly beneath Broadcast Central, and all of the food stands are open. Up on top of the midway, the double hook bar. You can literally not miss a moment of the action, as you can literally be standing as close as you can be to both the double hook and the front straightaway here at Stafford. In addition to that, Maybury Material Handling has their display set up where you came through the main ticket booth heading into the grandstand area for tonight's program. So, again, make sure you check it out. And, of course, as we said before, the good folks from Casella, they're having a VIP visit with us here at the Speedway. They are located behind the Turn 4 grandstand area as well. Novelty items are available, and there's some great specials that are going on at the novelty booth as well, again located behind turn number 4. We're in for a great night of racing. The order of this evening's program is going to kick off with the following. The street stock qualifying heats will be first, followed by the late models, the SK light qualifying heats, and then, of course, the SK modifieds. Then we will open up with the pre-race festivities. We will kick things off with the running of the limited late model event. Now, this schedule is subject to change, and then following the conclusion of that, the kids' big wheel races will be a part of the festivities as well. And then we continue on with our feature events, rolling right to the end. We will have tonight a consolation event, of course, for the SK Light division. So a little bit of a twist and turn to all of this. The SK Lights, because of the tremendous car count, 4 qualifying heats, 7 cars to transfer, 4 amongst the handicap. They will run 1 consolation event, take the consolation cars, 3 provisionals, and 1 championship individual will be added as well.
Yeah, huge field, no doubt. They'll be rolling out on the Speedway here in just a moment. Bill Roberts, please report to the will call window. Bill Roberts to the will call window, please.
So there is a lot happening, as we said before, and we remind you that the racing action does continue next Friday night, September 29th, Napa Championship Nights. Napa is, of course, the official sponsor and the official parts store. Get up and go with your local Napa Auto Parts store, and we certainly salute them and say thank you for all that they've done. And then it'll be the TC13 Shootout event, which will be taking place as part of the festivities for next Friday night's program. For more information on this event, you can go to the web, and please remember, pass it along. We're in any form of social media. The Monaco Tri-Track Modified Series returns to the Stafford Motor Speedway with a brand new date based on weather conditions of this weekend. It'll be on October 28th. That's the rescheduling of the Napa Fall Final. A banner field of cars are expected to be a part of the festivities, plus the crowning of the champions and the vintage all-star cars will all be there. And if you look at our board, you'll see that the TC13 Shootout sponsors consist of Wheeler's Auto Service Center, the good folks at Wild Thing Carts, Casella, New England Racing Fuel Sunoco, Hoosier Tire East, and the Manafort family, as well as Ed Bennett and the First Lady of Modified Racing, Renee Dupuy, Big Hoss USA, and, of course, all of those sponsors and much, much more will be a part of the TC13 event. As our safety services parade of vehicles head back to the center of the infield, Kyle, we are pumped up. We've had enough downtime for a lifetime, and we are ready for this evening's program. So it looks like
I think the drivers' meeting went a little bit longer than usual because of the number of cars that are here and making sure everyone's good with the format that's going to take place tonight. The last couple of months, in fact, all year, we've pretty much started all the cars. But
Yes.
when 42 SK Light signed in earlier tonight,
can't do that.
That's going to be tough to do. So they're going to thin the field just a bit through qualifying races and then a last chance race here later on this evening.
Sure are. And the Monaco Ford Safety Services vehicles are staged and poised center stage in the infield area. Monaco Ford is the official provider of the vehicles. They have 2 convenient locations. The traditional 101 years of quality business in Glastonbury, Connecticut, and a new location in Niantic, Connecticut. Monaco Ford, tell them that you heard about it here at the Speedway for a special price and a special deal, whether it's repairs, something as simple as an oil change, or buying your brand new or used vehicle. It is Monaco Ford. So, in just a few short moments, we're going to be sending out 2 qualifying rounds for our street stock division.
But first, would all the big wheel racers please be sure to check in at the Speedway Collectibles booth on the Midway. All of the youngsters that are going to participate in the big wheel events later on this evening, part of the Maybury Material Handling Kids Night, please check in at the Speedway Collectibles booth on the Midway. Just coming off of turn 4 at the top of the Midway. Make sure we get you registered and get a big wheel assigned to you here later on this evening.
Sure are. And, of course, we know those kids are all excited and ready to be a part of this evening's race program. You know, you look down in turn number 4, Kyle, to the inside of the racetrack, and it looks more like a golf course than a normal racetrack as things have literally come in perfectly for the fall final event. What is amazing is you and I have been here for a lot of fall finals, and with the weather conditions that we've had this past summer, the leaves have not started to change. And we have been here, and the entire backstretch, all those trees, were all the colors of fall. That has not been the case, and we know why the reason is for that.
All the wet stuff over the course of the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
And to think, 2 weeks ago, it was 92 degrees. We had our first heat wave of the summer for the most part just a couple of weeks ago. So that has delayed the fall foliage I think a couple of weeks is what I heard earlier this week. We should start to see things turn in about 2 weeks.
We sure should. But right now, turn your attention to turn number 3. It's our first of 2 street stock qualifying events. And starting at the point will be car number 55. That's Brandon Warren out of Chicopee, Massachusetts, driving the Anytime Nutrition SK Property Management car.
Starting in second, car 37 from Columbia, Connecticut, the Charlie's Towing entry for David Macia Sr.
Row number 2 to the inside, car number 15, Dustbusters Duct Cleaning. It will be the Ware, Massachusetts driver for Sean Petlock.
Car number 49 will go next from Somers, Connecticut, the Chief Floor and Wall Coverings car for Jason Raymond.
And in the third row on the inside is car number 01. He's a former champion, the Holyoke Dental Associates Beaver Camper Services Machine. From Agawam, Massachusetts, the Big Pineapple himself, car number 01, Johnny Walker.
Sixth starter, car number 31 from Danielson, Connecticut, the Fairway Mortgage Mike Rogers team car for Ryan Waterman.
In the 7th starting spot, it is car number 44, the Stafford Veterinarian Center. Number 44 from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Rob Sears.
Starting 8th, car number 5 from Bristol, Connecticut, the Blitz Black Motorsports Chevrolet for Pete Kayer.
In the 9th starting spot, it's the Bobby Burner Services, number 00 from Hampton, Massachusetts, Bobby Wilson.
Car number 81 makes his return to the Speedway here tonight, starting in the 10th spot for Brent Gleason.
And car number 88 will pick up at the rear of the field. That is John Orsini making his debut here at Stafford.
Car number 22 will go next in line for Nick Doolery from White Plains, New York, sponsored by RacedACT.com.
Well, the distance is going to be 5 laps. The number of cars to transfer is 7. You want to be among the top 7 cars for a preferred starting spot in the main event of competition. If you just joined us, this is Maybury Material Handling Kids Night here at the Speedway. Joining us is the good folks from Casella for a VP night of competition. Kyle Rickey, the first green of the night, comes rumbling out, and there's no question about it. Brandon Warren gets a nice jump as he pulls away from the competition. Meanwhile, There is a scramble for position number 2, and we've got 4, make it 5 cars contending. But here comes Walker to try to challenge to the inside as the battle remains for second as they come back towards the stripe.
Lap 1 in the books. It is Warren to cross the stripe out front. Petlock in second. Under the gun from the orange, number 01. That is Johnny Walker, followed by one of our championship contenders. Here comes Waterman right to the bottom in that 31 car to the inside of Petlock, and now challenges Walker for position number 2.
There's no question about it. It is Waterman who runs like he is on rails. He reels in that 3rd position all over the back bumper, and we've got a caution. Car goes around between turns 1 and 2.
That is Bob Connor in the 22.
And the Connor machine will get fired back up, and he will pick up at the rear of the field in this one. 2 of the 5 circuits now complete in the competition here. Brandon Warren cut his teeth at the high banks of Monadnock Speedway. His dad, big supporter of him, and they decided to come full-time to Stafford, and he has shown great improvement during the course of 2023. Johnny Walker, what can be said about him? Last time we were here, Kyle and I remembered, he came from a scratch starting position all the way up to finish on the podium. He is no stranger to winning here at Stafford, and Ryan Waterman has become a household name in the street stock division. Sean Petlock already up to the 4th spot, and Jason Raymond in position number 5.
Connor has come to a stop again here on the front stretch. That is Bob Connor in the 22 rent-a-race car, so they'll put the caution flag back out, and we'll go another lap as Connor gets the car fired back up.
Our starters kind of look at
I don't
the
think they were very
situation,
happy.
and both of their hands go, what is going on here? But he is able to get it fired back up and pick up at the rear of the field. Cross flags in the air, that's an indication to cross the field over. That's exactly what they're doing. Front row will be Brandon Warren and Johnny Walker. Now, it might have looked easy before on the initial start when Brandon Warren had things under control, but he was starting next to a different player. That was David Masha, who is now in the 6th position already in this qualifying event. So, get ready. Lights are off, provided by Wheelan Engineering. First name and light sirens and safety services used throughout the world. We're hoping those of you that are tuning in and watching us here tonight, whether it's on FloRacing or any other form of social media, we are honored to have you as part of our festivities on Maybury Kids Night at the races here at Stafford. Picture perfect night. Here's the green, and here's Kyle Rickey.
And again, Brandon Warren gets the jump. Here comes Waterman, the current championship point leader in this division, up to the 2nd spot, car number 31. Walker slides way up the track off of turn number 2, back to 3rd, just in front of Jason Raymond in 4th. And then it's Gleason rounding out the top 5. Good run for Brent in that 81 car, up to the 5th spot.
Meanwhile, back up front, Waterman literally runs in the tire tracks of the Warren machine. Looks for an opening to the inside. Black number 31 car. Reeling them in. Little cat and mouse action as they work their magic down the back straightaway. Leader of the pack still remains Brandon Warren. White flag is out. Final circuit, less than a half mile. It's all going to be history.
Less than 1 lap to go. 5-lap qualifying events for these street stock competitors. Warren trying to fend off one of the best in this division. In fact, he is statistically the best here in 2023 as the championship leader going into the final few weeks of the season. Here comes Waterman to the bottom of Warren off of turn 4 for the checkered flag.
Checkered flag is out there, wheel to wheel and side by side, but by a nose it is Brandon Warren. Ryan Waterman to finish in 2nd, Johnny Walker to finish in 3rd, and by the way, he clicked off the fastest lap of the race. Jason Raymond to finish in the 4th spot, and rounding out the top 5, it was Brent Gleason. 2 more competitors will move to the main event, but just out of the handicap.
And they include Bobby Wilson in the 6th spot and Sean Petlock, who fell back just a bit in those 5 laps after starting toward the front, finishing in 7th. Finishing out of the handicap include David Masha Sr., Rob Sears, Pete Kayer, John Orsini, and Bob Connor.
Well, coming up next is round number 2 for the street stock division. Car number 84, the J&J trucking machine, the Randy Higginson owned race car from Ellington, Connecticut. will be at the point. That's Bert Ouellette.
And to his outside, car number 7 from Granby, Massachusetts, the All-Star Duck Solutions Incorporated car for Jeff Aslan.
Keep your eyes on the P.J. Ladola Electrical Contractors, number 42 out of Barkhamsted, Connecticut, Travis Downey.
4th starter, car number 71 from Stafford, Connecticut, Rico's Pizza, providing the sponsorship for Marvin Minkler.
5th starter in the field, it'll be the Faith Construction Blandon Plemons machine for Aaron Plemons, car 67 from Uncasville, Connecticut.
6th starter and second in the championship standings coming into tonight, car number 11 from Woodbury, Connecticut, the Haidar Construction Chevrolet for Travis Haidar.
In the 7th starting position, car number 13, the Charlie's Towing Company. Jason Trott-owned race car from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, the 13 of Matt Martell.
8th starter, car number 69 from Belchertown, Massachusetts, the Vanished Valley Brewing car for Bill Cody.
Car number 94, this car was severely damaged. It hit at a ton after he secured his first career victory in this division. The New York Sports Show, number 94 from Goshen, Connecticut, another rental race car machine for Chris Danielchuk.
And to Chris's outside, starting in 10th, car number 23 from Wallingford, Connecticut, the Connecticut Compressor Systems Chevrolet for Gary Spinato Jr.
And it appears that the Tyler Trott machine, car number 80, will be also being added to the field. And that, of course, is the 80 car of East Hartford, Connecticut, the Backroad Smokin' Barbecue car. So, field is set, and we're ready to commence and get things kicked off.
Dylan Delury in car number 26 in that other renter race car out there. The number 26 will start shotgun on the field in the 12th position. And waiting for one other competitor to make his way onto the speedway. That's Plemons in the 67, the Uncasville, Connecticut driver.
He was scheduled to start in the 5th starting spot in this qualifying event. Following the conclusion of this, we'll move into late model qualifying from the half mile in Stafford Springs, Connecticut on a very special Maybury night. Very impressive display located where you came through the main gate here at the Speedway. And the good folks from Casella, they have some of their heavy equipment. They're having a VIP visit with us at the racetrack, which is located behind turn number 4. And they're all down there celebrating. We want to welcome all of those nice folks. And we remind you that you can be a part of the activities here at the Speedway as well, as you can take a look at those impressive billboards down the back straightaway. Field is doubled up 2x2 and side by side. Pace car looks to dive to the inside. Kyle Rickey with honors. You have the call.
Here they come off of turn 4. Bert Ouellette in car number 84. Jeff Aslan in the 7 to make up the front row. Green flag is up. 5 laps again the distance as they go to turn number 1. Even Stevens at the point. By the time they get to the corner, the inside lane jumps out front, led by that green number 84 for Bert Ouellette.
Bert Ouellette knows how to get around this racetrack. He is a veteran. He's a real personality, both on and off the racetrack. But right now, that personality is starting to show a little bit of a frown because glued to the back bumper is car number 42, and that, of course, is Travis Downey. Downey has the ability to run high, does a crossover, and moves low. So we've got a green car out front looking for the green and the money, and white car with green numerals, which is Travis Downey, following Ouellette right behind him. And then in the 3rd and 4th position, Aaron Plemons and Jeff Aslan right there in hot pursuit.
Top 5 have singled out. Top 2 have been able to break away just a bit. A lot of green at the front of the field. Bert Ouellette, the race leader. Travis Downey in 2nd. Here comes Travis Haidar up to the 3rd spot in car number 11. Last year's champion, looking for a 2nd consecutive title this year, comes into tonight. Just a few points out of the race lead.
It certainly does, and he's already starting to close up the gap. Fastest car on the racetrack is Travis Downey. Meanwhile, we've got a spin between turns 3 and 4, and that brings out the caution in this event with 3 of 5 circuits now complete.
Is that Dylan in the 26? It is. Dylan
Yes,
Delury.
it is. So he'll get it fired back up and pick up at the rear of the field. Bert Ouellette had a very interesting season. He started out with one team, was doing really well, and then all of a sudden things changed.
Drove for Jet Motorsports to start the season.
Yes.
Drove for Kyle Johnson for a couple of races in that
yep.
88 car. And now he's in this 84 entry that he's been driving for the last several weeks, maybe 5 weeks or so, that Randy Higginson owns, the J&J Trucking sponsored car.
And he's a kid that grew up right down the street. There is, for those of you that don't know, directly diagonally across from turn number 2 as you head back through the woods there is a lake that is called Crystal Lake, and he grew up in that area. So from his house, he could hear the thunder of the race cars as a youngster and inspired to come here to race. And now he has been able to fulfill that dream, and he has done very, very well for himself. He's competed in the truck series and has competed in this full body division. Car 23, the Gary Spinato Jr. car, is on pit road.
A tough break there for Spinato on the pit lane. A couple laps shy of the finish of this one, 3 of 5 in the books for the street stocks. The rest of the field is doubled up on the back straightaway with the exception of the 26 now that has spun off of turn 4.
It's got to be something with the rent-to-race cars tonight, because both of them come off the 4th turn, and then all of a sudden, after we've about ready to prepare to get things fired back up, something happens and went awry, and there's Bill Long down there sending him back to the center of the infield to be checked out. Tough break for him, but Dylan Delury will be back, I'm sure, in time for the main event.
So the 10 remaining entries on the racetrack, they'll get doubled up once again on the back straightaway. We talk about the championship standings, final couple of weeks here for the street stocks. Ryan Waterman, the point leader by 12 over Travis Haidar coming into tonight. Those two competitors have been the class of the field all year, as it's more than 120 points. Back to 3rd place running Aaron Clemens, Travis Downey 4th in points, Johnny Walker rounding out the top 5. But it's pretty much, it is definitely between Waterman and Haidar coming into the final 2 feature events. Green flag is back up, back underway, and it's Downey looking to try to get that jump in the outside lane in car number 42.
They are side by side. There's an old saying, closer than most people park, and you were witnessing just that. Door handle short-lived. Bertolette takes back the command. Meanwhile, Travis Downey is working his magic. Yellow and purple number 11 car. No, it's not an Easter Bunny. It's a race car that's contending for its 2nd title. Now to the inside, moving forward and on a roll. Keep your eyes on that number 69 car and the 67 car. Here comes the checkers, Kyle.
Burt Willett will see the checkered first and finish this one atop the leaderboard over Travis Haidar in 2nd, Bill Cody in 3rd, Travis Downey in 4th, and Jeff Aslan completing the top 5.
And finishing in the 6th spot is Aaron Clemens, the 67. Chris Danielchuk comes back to finish 7th. Tyler Trott to finish in 8th. Marvin Minkler for 9th. Matt Martell to finish in 10th. Gary Spinato, mechanical woes, he'll finish in 11th. And Dylan Delury will round out the top 12. Late model division is next on the racetrack. If you saw the opening in this evening's program, Kevin Gambacorta looks to raise the bar, as he has in all of the full fender divisions here at the Speedway, has been a champion except one, this late model division, and he's looking to do just that.
Yeah, when it comes to the fendered cars here, he's found success in the street stocks and in the limiteds, and now looking to potentially, we don't want to jinx him, so we're probably not going to talk much about points, but very capable of clinching it here tonight. He's a 48-point advantage coming into this evening's main event over Tom Fern.
Well, here they come, round number 1, and it's Alexander Fern with car number 12 from Hampton, Massachusetts, in the Stu Fern Broadbrook Brewing Company car.
And her outside, car number 2 from Monroe, Connecticut, the Green Knolls Landscaping car for Dwayne Knowles.
Square Peg Pizzeria brings us car number 4 for one of the great all-time veterans. John Butler owns the car from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Tommy Butler.
4th starter, car number 87 from North Franklin, Connecticut, the Mayday Oil Casello Waste sponsored entry for Chris Meyer.
3 rows back to the inside, Tavern on the Tracks brings us the Berlin, Connecticut, number 30 39 for Paul Verrecchio Jr.
Six-starter, former champion, the 97 from Granby, Massachusetts. Meadows Motor Cars bring us Adam Gray.
Here's the guy, the big dog, the guy up front in the point parade for Lavigny Law. Gary Lavigny owned number 23 from Ellington, Connecticut, Kevin Gambacorda.
Eighth starter, car number 17 from Milford, Connecticut, the Wayne's Auto Body Incorporated Chevrolet for Wayne Corey Sr.
Then we go to car number 20, and that, of course, is P.J. Zarella out of Morris, Connecticut, in the Litchfield County Marine Car.
And rounding out the field, car number 11 from Mapleville, Rhode Island, the Bryans Burrville Motors Chevrolet for Corey Fanning.
So there you have it. Field is ready. We are about to kick them off, late model style. Gambacorda leads the points. Tommy Fern is in second, behind by 48 points. Adam Gray is in third, 60 points off. And then it is Wayne Corey and Darrell Keene. Here we go.
Alexandra Fern, former limited late model champion in her first full year here in the late models.
She has not had much luck at all, but when the car is good, she is fast and she is racy. Let's see how racy she can be as the Safeco foam machine guards the bottom of the racetrack. Butler on the outside. Alexandra Fern steps on the gas like she was shot out of a gun, and it is Alexandra Fern, the leader of the pack. Big story is the battle for third. 3 cars contending for that position, Kyle.
Verrecchio in the outside lane, Gray to the inside, Meyer part of that battle, and you can add a fourth with Kevin Gambacorda in the 23 car. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all jammed up the back straightaway, just in front of Corey and Fanning into turn number 3. Here's Meyer stepping out of line and a bid for fourth.
He does. He makes a bold bid to the bottom of the racetrack, running in his tire tracks. Here's Gambacorda. Remember, Gambacorda in a pre-race interview told us that he was perhaps too cautious the last time he was here. Tonight, he said he was going to be more aggressive. But remember, the story is to be among the top 5 qualifying positions in 8 laps. Currently, he is bidding for position number 5. Inside move. It is Myers right there. Chris Myers, a good competitor, back up front. Bid for the lead. Butler saw an opening. He pointed the green number 4 to the inside. Alexandra Fern says she's going to try the crossover, and she comes back to the stripe.
Back to the inside for Fern, but it's going to be Butler that leads at the stripe, one of the most experienced drivers in this late model division, and one of the rookies in Alexandra Fern in car number 12, joined by last year's champion, a 4-time champion, and Adam Gray to her inside now for the runner-up spot. Gray in the 97 car.
Remember, Gray was a big winner in the big money, big event, the extra distance event in the competition here. Now Gray moves into second. Alexandra Fern drops back to 3. All of a sudden, Paul Verrecchio is now found himself with the number 39 car in striking distance.
Verrecchio debuted this new car back at the end of May, early June, and has run well with it, ending up on the podium a couple of times. And that 39 car right now running 4th, challenging Alexandra Fern for position number 3 in the 12. Just a couple laps to go into the final pair of laps here in this opening qualifying event for the late models as the field comes off of turn number 4. White flag is up. 1 lap to go for car 4 of Tom Butler.
Meanwhile, Verrecchio tries to make the bold move to the inside of Alexandra Fern. Verrecchio going, gone. He'll take over the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, Gambacorda has got 2 turns left to move into the comfort zone. 5 is the magic number. The battle is for 4th and 5th. Checkered flag is out. Tommy Butler will take down the win. Adam Gray will finish in 2nd. Paul Verrecchio, good run in the 39 for 3rd. Kevin Gambacorda squeaks into the 4th spot. And Alexandra Fern will finish in position number 5.
And just behind Alex was Chris Meyer in 6th, Wayne Corey in 7th, P.J. Zarella in 8th, Dwayne Knoll 9th, and Corey Fanning completed the 10-car field in heat race number 1.
So let's go to round number 2 for the late model division. And starting at the point, feature event winner from Chicopee, Massachusetts, former limited late model champion, the Payless Auto Glass Machine from Chicopee, Mass, the 43 of Andrew Duran.
Starting in the second spot, car number 89 from Putnam, the Green Knolls Landscaping Chevrolet for Zach Robinson.
And on the inside of the second row, car number 92, the King Gray Coach Alliance Machine for one of the all-time great veterans and championship full-body drivers. Stu Fern owns the car from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. Car 92 for Tommy Fern.
Fourth starter, car number 79 from Enfield, Connecticut, Big Kahuna Racing and Jarmark Farm, providing the sponsorship for Daryl Keene.
3 rows back to the inside, car number 9, the A6A Associates Machine. From Naugatuck, Connecticut, Bobby Stirk III.
And his outside, starting in 6, car number 10 from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Springfield Thunderbirds, the entry for Wayne Corey Jr.
In the 7th starting spot, it is car number 00, the Northeast Sheet Metal car. Chris Welch's car from Pawcatuck, Connecticut, it is Jacob Perry, the 00.
8th starter, car number 44 from Durham, Connecticut, the teamschoice.com Chevrolet for David Ray.
And starting scratch, the AVI Incorporated Machine, TD Racing car from Barkhamsted, Connecticut. It is Aiden Burrill with car 33. 9 cars, second and last qualifying round in the late model division. Side by side up front, Zach Robinson is another competitor that came up through the ranks here at Stafford. Was a former champion in our street stock division. He's adjusted very well. He's very knowledgeable on the car and its setup too as well. So he is to the outside, Andrew Duran in one of the cars that is receiving assistance from Joe Ham, the official setup guy and welder here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Bobby Stirk also reminded me earlier tonight that he's had a good year in his first year here in the late models, and he's in a tight race with Alex Fern for the Rookie of the Year championship. So a lot on the line, not only for the overall title, but for that rookie race as well, as the grade is up and they go to turn number 1 with Andrew Duran showing the way in car number 43.
Look at Tommy Fern, orange and red car to the inside of your screen, trying to move down underneath Zach Robinson, the color black on the upper lane. They come off the turn. Robinson tries to pinch him down low. Just good hard racing. Bottom of turn number 1. Robinson still in command, but look out, here comes a strong contender in Daryl Keene. Keene's another guy that he can come from the parking lot quietly but deadly to get to the front of this field.
Stirk sliding up the racetrack off of turn 4, opens up the door for Corey on the bottom in car number 10 for that 5th position, that all-important 5th spot. The 00, part of that battle as well for the Chris Buffoni car as they go up the back straightaway. Buffone into line in 00, just in front of the 9 of Stirk.
Well, he has got to pick up one more position, but he is coming on strong with that 00. Meanwhile, back up front, class of the field is Andrew Duran, but there's some noise behind him. It is Zach Robinson, and now here comes Tom Fern. Fern dives to the inside, tries to make the magic happen as they come to the stripe. Halfway down and halfway to go. We've got a change in position. Will it be short-lived or will it stick? It looks like it's sticking, Kyle. And look who's right there behind them. He's come out of nowhere to be a factor.
Daryl Keene in car number 79 up to the 4th spot, make it 3rd by the time they get back to start finish. As Robinson now stuck in that outside lane, will lose a few positions. Corey goes to the inside. Robinson kicked back to 5th. They are all chasing the number 43, Andrew Duran, who is checked out by some 1.7 seconds over Tom Fern in the 2nd spot. That equates to about half of the front straightaway with 2 laps to go.
Certainly does, and 2 laps means 1 mile left in this one. We saw Andrew Duran in one of our last late model of feature events. He had a commanding lead like he's got now, and then all of a sudden things went awry. But that's not the story, as the white flag is out. No surrendering in that battle for the 3rd and the 4th position between Daryl Keene and Wayne Corey Jr. Corey reels him in again. Can't quite get there. Red and white number 10 car. Hunting down the back bumper of the black number 79 machine. Here's the checker. Andrew Duran does it with ease. Tom Fern in for second. Darrell Keene to finish in third. Wayne Corey Jr. to finish in the fourth spot. Kyle?
Zach Robinson will round out the top 5 in car number 89. Then it's Chris Buffone in 6 in the 00. Bobby Sturck in 7th. David Ray 8th. And Aiden Burrell rounding out the 9 cars. So the 19 car starting lineup for the feature event for the late models is set. And they'll be out here later on this evening.
And you know, coming up next, the biggest division of the biggest car count in divisions is coming up next, and that is our SK Light modified qualifying action. There will be 4 qualifying events. The story on this one is pretty much simple. We're going to have a consolation event because we've got a banner field. So, Kyle Rickey, we've got 11 cars in round number 1. Let's get to the starting lineup.
42 cars in all, a huge field of SK Light Modifieds here tonight. Not all of them will start the feature. We start thinning them down right now with this opening qualifying event. On the pole, car number 88 from Wethersfield, Connecticut, the JG Pool and Drywall car for Frank Litwell Jr.
Kind of appropriate on Maybury Material Handling Nights, car number 70 out of East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, the John Maybury car for Wade Gagner.
Third starter, car number 21 from Wolcott, Connecticut, Arizona, roofing the entry for Sammy Anderson.
This guy's a former champion and one of the best, driving the Vernon Chevrolet Tamitha Race Machine, car number 29 from Stafford, Connecticut, Chris Matthews.
Rolling off 5th, car number 44 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Chapman Apartment Homes Casello Waste car for Jason Chapman.
Car number 82 is up next. That's the Maybury Supreme Industries, number 82 from Tolland, Connecticut for Paul Aruch.
7 starter, car number 42 from New Hartford, Connecticut, Joining Technologies, providing the entry for Stephen Kologiannis.
Car number 52 is up next. That's the Pettit Racing Engines, Fran Farino, Michael Jervis Jr. car from Waterbury, Connecticut, Anthony Farino.
9 starter, car number 45 from New Hartford, Connecticut, Lakeshore Benefit Group, provided the sponsorship for Ed Chikoski.
And we welcome this young lady back, the Maybury Material Handling car from West Springfield, Massachusetts, car 48, Alina Bryden.
And rounding out the 11 car field, car number 28 from Newtown, Connecticut, the Connecticut Bounce House LLC car for Zach Asklar.
So there you have it, first of the qualifying rounds, and we are set. Off turn number 4. This is one of 4 qualifying events. If you're watching us on FloRacing, get ready because we have an incredible
huge car count, as you mentioned, Ben. Heat race number 1 set to go in turn number 3. Looking for the green this time, Frank Litwell. Car number 88 to lead him down to the stripe, and we are underway with the first of 4 qualifying events for the SK Lights.
Frank Litwell on the inside of the front row, looking racy, but up high, wide, and handsome. Down the back straightaway. Big muscle, big power as he dives into turn number 3, way up the hill. Off the turn, a brand new leader emerges. It is Matthews. But don't count out Wade Gagner. Gagner running a completely different line on the racetrack. It's working because these are momentum race cars. He's got good momentum as he sets in second.
Thought a lap ago he was heading to downtown Stafford for a moment, still in that outside lane. The car a little bit loose on him off of turn number 4, maintains the runner-up spot. Litwell right there in 3rd. Sammy Anderson, she has her hands full with Jason Chapman to the outside in car number 44. All of this battling just ahead of Paula Root, running in the 6th spot, car number 82.
Jason Chapman puts that red machine to the top side of the racetrack. He runs tight to the back bumper as they come back off turn number 4. Meanwhile, Wade Gagner turning some heads here tonight. He's looking good for the Maybury people. He moves back in to take over second. Chapman moves into the 3rd spot. And here comes Sammy Anderson. She's pumped up after a victory at Waterford just a couple of weeks back.
Was happy with the handling of her race car after practice earlier today, and that 21 car right now in the outside lane, keeping it wound up in the 4th spot. Latwell to her left elbow in turn number 3. Paula Root finding pressure from Kologiannis as well, along with Asklar. They're all chasing the all-time win leader in this division, Chris Matthews, who continues to lead.
Meanwhile, good battle shaping up as Paula Root tries to work down underneath Sammy Anderson. Frank Latois is right there in front of him, and there's 5 cars contending for the same position. That is the 4th spot on the racetrack. And currently that position is held down by Latwell, but not for long. Sammy Anderson goes from the outside to the inside. She's showing that she is here and making her mark at Stafford as well. Back up front, Chapman bids underneath the Maybury car of Wade Gagner. White flag is out, Kyle, as they come back to the line.
1 lap to go for Matthews. Gagner leads the 2nd pack of traffic into turn number 1. It's from 2nd on back. Latwell had to jump on the brakes, had a peek to the inside of Anderson for the 4th spot. A Root still just outside of the top 5 and 6 with Kologiannis to his inside. Checker flag this time by for Chris Matthews, who will pick up the heat race win over Wade Gagner, Jason Chapman, Sammy Anderson, and Frank Latwell.
Then we go to Paula Root to finish in the 6th spot. Stephen Kologiannis will finish in the 7th spot. Zach Askler finishing in the 8th spot. Ed Chikoski will be 9th, and Alina Bryden will finish in the 10th spot. Anthony Farino will finish in position number 11. Great run for Wade Gagner, as he is showing the Maybury folks that he can get the job done. He talked earlier today in our pre-race interview that he's got a lot of work ahead of him for his Monday night kart program, building karts. Going to take a little time off, but a run like tonight, I think he changed a little bit of everything there.
We should mention the top 7 will go directly to the feature. They do not have to worry about the consolation event coming up. Stephen Kologiannis finishing in that 7th spot. Askler, Chikoski, Alina Bryden, and Anthony Farino not yet locked into that main event.
Okay, round number 2, it'll be car number 87 on the inside of the front row. That's the Metro Garage Doors machine. That is Joey Farino out of East Hartford, Connecticut.
Outside of the front row, car number 74 from Grainville, Massachusetts, the SK Property Maintenance car for Brandon Michael.
Then we go to the number 51 machine. That is Matt Brewer out of Norwich, Connecticut. The M51 Racing SAB Tree Experts car.
Car number 1 will go next from right here in Stafford, the Wicked Power Sports car for Bob Charland.
And then for the Casella folks are sponsoring the Chapman Apartment Homes machine, the My Three Sons Racing car from Ellington, Connecticut, Tyler Chapman.
Car number 39 is next, one of our championship contenders and a winner of 3 of our last 4 feature events. The 39 from Danbury, Connecticut, Glasgow Roofing and Sheet Metal to bring us George Bissett Jr.
Car number 33 will start 7th on the grid. Haley Dishonors out of Windham, Connecticut in the Advanced Sewer and Drain car.
8th starter, car number 77 from Norfolk, Connecticut, the Brian Bagnell construction car for Chris Bagnell.
Starting in the 9th starting position is car number 17 from Manchester, Connecticut, Barkowski Racing. It is Glenn Barkowski.
Car number 22 will go next in line, pulling double duty tonight, making an SK Light debut from Agawam, Massachusetts, the Gendon Auto Parts Garrett's Carpentry entry for Kevin Cormier.
Same story here, 7 cars to make the transfer, 4 among the handicap, and believe you me, in the consolation event, every one of these competitors are well aware of the fact that they have a lot to deal with in order to get to the big dance.
Todd Clark also a part of this heat race in the 00 as we go under the green flag, and it looks like Haley Bizonia a bit out of shape in turn number 1. She's good and will drop toward the tail end of the field as the leaders are already in turn 3. Joey Farino and Bob Charland, 2 of the most veteran drivers in this division, go 1-2, completing lap 1.
There's no question about it. The Wicked Power Sports machine looking wicked good in the upper lane. Joey Farino guards the spot, but Charland looks racy. He pulls away. Bob Charland, one of the great veteran drivers in this class, running at the top of the racetrack, brings it back down to the line. Here comes Brandon Michaels. Now remember, Michaels is a graduate from our street stock division. He is showing himself well. That's that yellow and neon orange Ruger car. To the outside, here comes Chapman guarding Farino.
41 to the inside. That is Tyler Chapman to the inside of Farino for second. Brandon Michael had thoughts of making it 3 wide for the runner-up spot. Michael in the 4th position in that yellow and orange 74 car as they race up the back straightaway, chasing Bob Charland coming to halfway.
Bob Charland has had kind of a roller coaster season, but now the Chassis Pro car set up by Todd Cohen and Boucher is looking very strong in this one. Down the back straightaway, side-by-side bid, 3 cars contending for the runner-up spot. Joey Farino, no stranger to winning races here at Stafford. His car does a little bit of a stutter step. That moves the 41 to the inside. Tyler Chapman. He's got free air now, Kyle. He's up to second. Brandon Michael back to 4th. Farino is bump drafting him down in turn 3.
George Bissett Jr. A bit quiet in the early portions of this heat race, running 5th right now in car number 39. Now he steps out of line on Michael for 4th. There's Bissett going to the inside of the racetrack, down in turn number 1 for that position as the top 3 get away just a bit. Charland, Chapman, Farino, 1, 2, 3. Then it's Michael, Bissett, and Brewer, the rookie competitor in this division, coming from the Monday Night Karting program in the 6th spot in car 51 and into the final lap.
He's doing a great job. Remember, 7 will transfer, 4 of which will be among the preferred starting spots. Final 2 turns. Bob Charland, the Wicked Power Sports machine, has done a wicked good job of winning this qualifying event. Tyler Chapman to finish in 2nd, Joey Farino for 3rd. Brandon Michael, the 4th spot. 5th position is George Bissett. 6th position is Matt Brewer. And 7th spot is Kevin Cormier. Kyle, what have we got out of the top 7?
Yeah, the drivers that have to go to the LCQ include Glenn Barkowski in 8th, Chris Bagnell in 9th, Haley DeZonia, who had that half spin on the initial start of the race, in 10th, Todd Clark rounding out the 11-car field. Again, 7 transfer. That'll make up the first 28 starting positions in the feature out of these 4 consolation events. Then it'll run 1 consolation.
And then they will take the consolation cars, followed by 3 provisionals and 1 championship if needed.
Top 5 out of the consi and 3 provisionals will give us, if I do the math right, 36 cars. That'll take the green flag here later tonight of the 42 that are here for the SK Light Modifieds.
Okay, round number 3 for the SK Lights. Story is the same, different players. The Lincoln Tech number 98 out of Coventry, Connecticut, the Brandon Sears-owned car for Norm Sears, will be starting at the point.
Outside of the front row, car number 76 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Constantine Paving and Sealing car for Ron Midford Jr.
Keep your eyes on this talented driver, the McKinney Construction Company, Rory West prepared, car from Colchester, Connecticut, car number 15 for Amanda West.
Car number 46 goes next in line, the current championship point leader by just 2 points coming into tonight from Tallinn, Connecticut. Monaco Ford providing the sponsorship for Brian Sullivan.
Car number 2 is up next, Propane Plus, Casella Waste. Feature event winner from Auburn, Massachusetts, The Deuce for Megan Fuller.
6 starter, car number 75 from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the Ferrari Lawn and Landscaping car for Casey Vogt.
Tallinn County Foundation replacement brings us to 35. Josh Morrison from Ashford, Connecticut, the Keep Digging Motorsports car.
8th starter, car 07 from right here in Stafford Springs, Goff Motorsports entry for Austin Goff.
And scheduled to start at the rear of the field, car number 92. That'll be David Webb from Nashville, Tennessee, in the Webb's Motorsports car.
And rounding out the field, the 05 from West Springfield, Massachusetts, Mike and Sons Property Care Plus entry for Mike Perolo.
Brian Sullivan driving with a heavy heart tonight. Very sadly, his mom, Joan Burrell Sullivan, passed away, the mother of Tim and Brian Sullivan. Our condolences to that family.
Green is up. underway. The outside lane gets the jump for Midford. Here comes the 98 of Sears to the inside, and Amanda West looking to go 3 wide for the race lead up the back straightaway in car 15.
And that's not the only 3 wide battle. Brian Sullivan does the same. Here comes Megan Fuller. Sears is becoming, well, he drops back to 5, back up front. Amanda West, car number 15, still the leader of the pack. Meanwhile, we've got a car that is stranded, and just as the yellow comes out, guess what happens? He gets it fired back up. It is car number 07.
Austin Goff.
Very interesting story surrounding the Goff family, how generation after generation has competed here at the Speedway. Kind of a local family with local favorites.
Third generation driver.
Yeah, and all 3 of them have done quite well for themselves. Although Austin just really starting his career here. Keep your eyes, as we said, on the top 5 cars, because they need to be among the top 4 to be in the handicap. 7 will make the transfer, as Kyle has pointed out, but remember, 4 is the key ingredient if you want to be starting up front.
So field should get the 1 to go signal this time by. Austin Goff gets caught up to the tail end of the field. And the rest of the lineup will double up into their rows of 2. What a move on the initial lap for Amanda West, going 3 wide to try and take the race lead. Fell just short at the completion of the first scored lap, just prior to the caution flag. Will restart in second. Megan Fuller followed Amanda on the inside lane and then made it 3 wide for what was, I believe, the 3rd position. And she will restart in 4th to the outside of Brian Sullivan. So a very eventful opening circuit to this qualifying event for the SK Light Modifieds. And we'll try it again here off of turn number 4 with just 1 lap in the books.
Here they come. Down into turn number 1, Ron Midford, the racing police officer. Amanda West to the outside. These 2 competed in Monday Night Karts here. And look out, because here comes Megan Fuller. Brian Sullivan being a little bit cautious, perhaps looking ahead and anticipating what could happen in that Monaco Ford machine. Back up front, Amanda West. Short-lived. Slips up just a bit. Medford is there. Here they come off turn 4, Kyle.
Here comes Megan Fuller in 3rd. Amanda West likes that outside lane, keeping that momentum up, and it's right now propelled her to the front of the field. Car number 15, Amanda West, goes to the point over Midford in 2nd, Fuller in 3rd, Sullivan in 4th, and Norm Sears rounding out the top 5, halfway home. 4 down and 4 to go.
Well, it appears the Chassis Pro cars are dialed in tonight. We saw Charlene win in that previous qualifying event, and now all of a sudden Amanda West is setting a blistering pace at the front of the field as well. Fastest car on the racetrack, leading by .372. Medford trying to reel back in that 2nd spot in the 76 car. To the outside, Sears tested the waters. Brian Sullivan said, no way.
Here they come off of turn number 4. 2 laps to go for Amanda West. Ron Midford reeling her in just a bit. Meg Fuller fading in 3rd, but running unchallenged in that position in car number 2. Best battle is for 4th between Sullivan and Sears. Just a car length or so between those 2 cars as the field will see the white flag, this time by Amanda West at the point in car 15.
Medford's not about to give up. Right on the back bumper. In striking distance. He's got 2 turns left. Down into turn number 3. It is still Amanda West leading the parade back to the stripe. Amanda West will take down the win. Ron Midford in for 2nd. Megan Fuller to finish in 3rd. Brian Sullivan to finish in the handicap in 4th. And then it is Norm Sears in 5th. Casey Vogt in 6th. And the final car to transfer is David Webb. Kyle, who doesn't make it?
Josh Morrison will have to go to the consolation event along with Austin Goff in the 07 as the two drivers that did not transfer through the 9-car qualifying event. Top 7 advance. 3 down, 1 to go.
That's right, and car number 55 is going to bring them to the green, and that is the number 55 machine. Is the Akari Motor Sales car, and the driver is Paul Akari out of Somers, Connecticut.
And to the outside, car number 09 from Westbrook, Connecticut, the Foxwoods Resort Casino sponsored car for Cassandra Cole.
Here's a guy that's had a pretty good season, the Busy Bees Learning Center car. Christina Hovey owns the car, and Nicholas Hovey sits behind the wheel from Chaplin, Connecticut, car number 16.
Last year's champion will start from the 4th spot, car number 18 from right up the road in Griswold, the Pro Systems integration car for Tyler Berry.
Keep your eyes on this talent in the Darling Auto Parts machine. Jeff Pearl, his dad, owns the race car from Salem, Connecticut, car number 7, Alexander Pearl.
And to the outside of that 3rd row, car number 4 from Mooresville, North Carolina, the Keith Rocco Racing entry for Luke Baldwin.
Car number 34 is up next, another Casella machine, the Absolute Group of Companies car from Oxford, Massachusetts, car 34, Dalton McCarthy.
8th starter, car number 38, new to the SK Light Modified field. To the outside of that 4th row is George Peralt.
And then we go to car number 78. That is Evan Burgoyes. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, out of East Hampden, Connecticut, in the EB exterminating car.
And rounding out the 10 starters, car number 5 from Tolland, it is Steve Midford.
So there you have it. This is our 4th qualifying heat for the SK Light division. If you're watching us on Flow, you know, there's all talks about car counts and how impressive it is to see big field of cars. Well, you're seeing one of the biggest assembled at any racetrack all season long in this SK Light division. And the performance that you're witnessing, watching on Flow or sitting here in the grandstand on Maybury Kids Night speaks for itself. Here they come.
Paul Arcari leads the field to turn number 1, but again, that outside lane gets the jump. Cassandra Cole in the 09 will lead off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. And right on her hip is going to be Tyler Berry up the back straightaway up to 2nd. Baldwin in 3rd. Here comes the Hovey car to the inside of Arcari for 4th.
And that's a great battle going on right there. 4th spot is the hot spot of the racetrack. Meanwhile, to the inside, here comes the 7 of Pearl. He's moving into the top 5, silver and black car. Deep into the turn, Hovey, the blue car, just in front of him. Akari is 1 spot away, but he's among the transfer positions.
Arcari backsliding just a bit in the 55. Here's Baldwin further up for 2nd, car number 4. To the inside of Berry for the 2nd spot. All of this behind Cassandra Cole, the race leader, in that green and white 09 car. Off the corner they come to complete lap number 3.
Look at Luke Baldwin, the son and the grandson of Tommy Baldwin Sr. and Tommy Baldwin Jr. Car number 4. Luke Baldwin showing that he has inherited the genes that make a difference. Cassandra Cole, one of the strong female drivers in this division, brings them back to the stripe. Here comes the defending champion, Kyle Berry. White number, neon numeral 18. 4 cars, 2 by 2. And then 1 car, and that is Pearl, the number 7, in position number 5. 5 is good, but Kyle, not good enough. You need to be 4.
Top 4 into the handicap, top 7 into the main event, guaranteed for a starting spot later tonight. Cassandra Cole keeping it wound up in the outside lane, may give way this time to Luke Baldwin in car number 4. That opens the door for Hovey on the bottom in car number 16 to try to take that 2nd spot away from Cassandra Cole. Also Tyler Berry in the outside. He now finds pressure from the 7 of Alex Pearl.
Pearl now looking to move into that 4th position. It's worth a better starting spot in the big event. He tries to put the hammer down. White flag is out, no surrendering in the battle. And all of a sudden, the guy that gets shuffled out of the top 4 is Kenny Berry. the defending champion, now finds himself in 5. Puts him in the main event, but 4 will put him way up in a starting position. Less than 1 turn left. Barry's trying everything to get into that 4th spot. Luke Baldwin to take down the impressive win. His dad is smiling, watching on Flo. Nicholas Hovey to finish in 2nd. Cassandra Cole for 3rd. Final handicap preferred spot goes to Alexander Pearl with the number 7 car. And then what do we have after that for 2 more positions?
Yeah,
Kyle?
Tyler Berry in 5th, Paul Arcari in 6th, and Dalton McCarthy in 7th will transfer to the main event. Everybody else to the consolation. They include Evan Burgoyce in 8th, George Peralt 9th, and Steve Midford rounding out the top 10. So we know 28 positions, set the top 7 in each of those 4 qualifiers. Everybody else will settle the rest of the field here in a little bit for the consolation event as the SK Modifieds come out onto the racetrack. The final division to qualify for feature event competition here tonight. 3 heats, another great field of nearly 30 cars on tap here this evening.
And we call them the fastest division of the night because that is the story. Car number 88 will be starting at the point, the Wheelers Auto Service Machine. The John and Mania Frano sponsored car from North Haven, Connecticut, Marcello Raffano.
Outside of the front row, car number 31 from Canton, Connecticut, the Mid-State Site Development Wheel and Engineering car for Noah Corner.
Jervis Brothers Roofing Company brings us also a feature event winner, car number 33 from Walcott, Connecticut, the Keith Rocco Racing car for Michael Jervis Jr.
4th starter, car number 16 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Kopex Auto and Truck Service car for Dylan Kopech.
Front runner in the point, a rundown. He's trying to be a contender for the title. The Hummels Brothers Hot Dog, John Hummel Machine. From Farmington, Connecticut, car number 11, Corey DiMatteo.
6th starter, car number 75 from Stafford, Connecticut, the Monaco Ford sponsored car for David Arute.
Another Baldwin Racing individual. It'll be the Keith Rocco Racing, number 07 from Mooresville, North Carolina, Jack Baldwin.
8th starter, long-time veteran of this division, car number 96 from Canton, Connecticut, Brainerd Motorsports car for Kurt Brainerd.
And we've got a driver's change in this one. Car number 45 will be starting in the next starting spot, the Fleetworks Incorporated car for George Bissett Jr.
Get your cameras out because that's a pretty spectacular sky over turn number 1 as the field comes off of turn number 4. Green flag is up and we are underway with Marcello Raffano leading the pack into turn number 1 for the first time.
Noah Corner digs hard in the upper lane. That's the Wheelin' Engineering car. Pedal to the metal, down the back straightaway. Corner has the advantage. Here comes Marcello Raffano. Rim riding to the bottom of the racetrack. Car number 88. Dylan Kopech, 2nd generation driver. His dad cut his teeth here at Stafford and he is now chomping at the bit, setting in position number 3. Directly behind him, David Arute. Here comes Dylan Kopech, forcing Corner up the racetrack. Give position number 2 to car 16.
Kopech up to that 2nd spot. They're chasing Marcello Raffano, the race leader. They are dicing it up for the 2nd position, though, with Corner to the outside. David Arute looking on right there in 4th. Jarvis and DiMatteo 5th and 6th. Here they come to complete another lap. 3 of 8 in the books, and it's still Raffano at the point.
Raffano out in front. He's got the quickest lap so far. He's leading by .619, but it's not going to be easy for Dylan Kopech. Setting in 2nd, orange, number 16 car. Here comes David Arute, red, white, and blue. To the inside, Monaco Ford Machine. Meanwhile, Noah Corner and David Arute come together. They're okay. And then all of a sudden moving in is Michael Jervis. Remember, 5 is the number to transfer here. Jervis in the final transfer spot. Behind him, Kyle, we've got the number 11 of Corey DiMatteo running up front in the points. He needs to get up further to be starting further in the main event. And then we've got George Bissett Jr. in that 45 car.
Who has shown well in his opening race earlier this year in the SK Modified, has run well in open modified competition, running for an SK Light title here this season. currently looking to qualify into this 30-lap feature or 40-lap feature later tonight for the SK Modifieds. White flag is up, 1 lap to go for Marcello Rafrano. Right now, Bissett currently in that 7th spot, just in front of Jack Baldwin and Kurt Brainerd, as the race leaders zip up the back straightaway for the final time.
They sure do. Single file is the story, and nobody stepping out of the line on this final circuit. That's how crucial the starting positions are. Marcello Rafrano, a great victory for this qualifying round. Dylan Kopech held off Noah Corner to finish 2nd, followed by 3rd. David Arute for the 4th spot. Michael Jervis to finish in position number 5.
Then it's Corey DiMatteo in 6th, George Bissett Jr. 7th, Jack Baldwin 8th, and Kurt Brainerd rounding out the top 9 as Mother Nature delivering in a big way right now over in turn number 1. She hasn't delivered much lately.
No,
and
it's a guilt trip. She's trying to send us some positive energy. And speaking of positive energy, coming up next is our 2nd qualifying round for the SK Modifieds and the Bellaheggie Farms machine. Car number 24 will be starting at the point. That's the Neil Flynn-owned car from Hampton, Mass. for Mikey Flynn.
Outside of the front row, car number 82 from Wolcott, Connecticut, the New England Turf and Eastport Feeds P.T. Watts car for Mike Christopher Jr.
Michael O'Sullivan and his son prepares the Horsepower Hill Farms number 22, owned by Dan Avery from Berlin, Connecticut. It is Keith Rocco.
Fourth starter, car number 25 from East Hampton, Connecticut, the Fowler's Auto Wrecking car for Anthony Flannery.
Fifth starting spot, car number 5, feature event winner, the RJ's Plumbing and Heating Casella Waste car from Millville, Massachusetts. It is RJ Marcotte.
To his outside, car number 44, that is scheduled to be Michael Ramos behind the wheel of the 44 car tonight, starting in position number 6.
Final row to the inside, CNC Roofing, Roscoe Racing from South Windsor, Connecticut, car 27, John Sandberg.
Car number 63 will go next for David Flamia Jr. from Waterbury, Connecticut, the D&D Racing car, to the outside of that fourth row.
So there you have it. John Montesantos with the number 43 car is also in that final row as we talked about it.
And the 23 of Wesley Prucker.
Yes, so we've got a couple of strong competitors making up the remainder of the field. This is our second SK Modified qualifying heat. 2 more to follow, then Kids Big Wheel Race and a whole bunch of other great stuff.
Green is up, underway we go, and it's going to be the Christopher car getting the jump in the outside lane.
Oh,
that outside,
perhaps too much jump.
Caution does come out by the time they reach turn 2. They'll re-rack the field on the backstretch and try it again.
So they double them back up. Deja vu. Welcome all of you from Casella Waste and all of you from Maybury Material Handling.
Again, a bit scattered at the front, but it's going to be Mikey Flynn that leads the field into turn number 1. Rocco in second for now, looking for the race lead. Christopher battling back topside in car number 82.
Looks like a nest of bees, and somebody just rattled them as they are all trying to get out of the nest. And the guy that emerges is, well, no surprise to us, but right at the front of the field, it is car number 82. And Michael Christopher.
For how long? Here comes Flannery now, stepping out of line in turn number 3 to challenge Christopher for the top spot. At the stripe, nearly dead even, 3/1,000ths of a second between Flannery, the new race leader, Christopher. Rocco joins the pack in car 22.
3 cars contending up front. Rocco, the red car, red hot as he's trying to challenge Flannery. Flannery in another Chassis Pro car, dominating up front. Then it's the 7 New York right there. Well, the roof says 7 New York, but it's the 82 of Christopher. So they head down the back straightaway. Side by side for second. Flannery at the point. Meanwhile, coming off turn number 4, Keith Rocco has a slight advantage. But at the line, it was Michael Christopher to move back in to take over the number 1 or the number 2 position. Here they come.
Another lap in the books. This one winding down into the final three. Flannery at the front, unable to get away from Christopher in the 82. Rocco in the 22. Then a bit of a gap back to Mikey Flynn in fourth. Christopher all over the back bumper in turn number 3 of Anthony Flannery with 2 laps to go this time by.
No question, it is a battle of the fittest at the front of the field. Michael Christopher taps on the back bumper of Flannery. Flannery leads him down the backstretch. Christopher, bold move to the inside. Michael Christopher puts the number 82 to the inside. White flag is out. Keith Rocco with a power move to the bottom as well. Christopher in command. Flannery gets shuffled back to 3. Here comes Keith Rocco up to the 2nd spot.
Looking to make a move, but is about to run out of time. Off of turn 4, checkered flag is up, and it's going to be Mike Christopher Jr. picking up the heat race win over Keith Rocco by a car length. Anthony Flannery will finish in 3rd, Mikey Flynn 4th, and RJ Marcotte 5th.
So there you have it, rounding out the top 5. Wesley Prucker, great run for him in 6th. John Sandberg for 7th. Michael Ramos in the 8th spot. David Flamia will finish in the 9th spot. And John Montesantos to round out the top 10. Also, kids, please report for the Big Wheels race. And we want to remind you that we have just completed our Facebook and YouTube screening.
A big thanks to all those for joining in on Facebook and YouTube, and the rest of tonight's race program can be seen on FloRacing.